For this session, we will talk about database information and the purchasing process through SAP. So for your database information, still we go with your master data and we look into the three data types and we try to view some master data in your SAP. Furthermore, in your purchasing process of SAP or in SAP, we will learn the process of recording purchases and how to receive those orders, how to record the invoice, and finally, how to settle the invoice. So let's start first with your database information, particularly master data. So everything depends on master data. Why do we say so? We say so because master data is considered your core data. It is considered the core data because without this data, we cannot create other data within it. So, what are some examples of master data? Some examples of your master data is your location, your customer name, your inventory name, the product name, the asset. So these are different master data. Now, uh, in relational database management system, we have three main data. The first one is your master data, which we have said your core data. It is considered core data because these are critical business objects. Without it, we cannot start our transaction. So, for example, without an inventory, we cannot start our transaction. Without knowing our customer, we cannot start our transaction. Without having a supplier, we cannot start our transaction. Therefore, it is considered a core business data. Next, we have your transactional data. So, what is a transactional data? This is a data it is the data taken from a particular business transaction. So whatever is the business transaction, it will be entered into your transactional data. And then lastly, we have your analytical data. These are more of your um, calculations, analysis, including your reports. So these are your analytical data. So what are the relationships of these items? So from your master data, if there is already an error or omission in your master data, therefore, whatever transaction captured based on your master data will create an operational problem. The operational problem here is that it will be transferred or placed into an incorrect master data, or there is an incomplete master data. Therefore, the data as to the transaction is incorrectly placed. To make it more simpler, let's say, for example, JT is the supplier. So, JT, we place uh, JT, the supplier, we place an order 10,000 pieces of Mac computers. Okay, so we place on JT 10,000 pieces of Mac computers worth 50,000 per piece this day, which is March 30, 2022. Okay, so what is the master data here? Our master data here is JT, the supplier, because without the supplier, we cannot start the process. And without the inventory item, that is the Mac computer, we cannot start the process. So those are the master data. Our transactional data here will be 10,000 pieces, the price of 50,000 per piece, of course, the total price, and then the date today that can be considered as our transactional data. Now, What do we say when errors and omissions in master data happens? For example, you want to post it in JT, that is our supplier. However, you place it instead to TJ. You place it instead to TJ. So the transaction now will be posted to TJ instead of JT. What happens here? So in your reporting soon, you report that you have a payable to TJ, or as you don't have a payable to TJ, but that payable should have been to JT. So therefore, you have a problem on your reporting now. So if there is an error or omission in your master data, therefore, whatever postings as to your transactions will be incorrectly placed on other or omitted master data. Therefore, you have wrong data as to your analysis or your reports. And if your reports are incorrect, you have wrong decisions. And this in turn will create larger costs for your company. That is because you have incorrect decision making, you have incorrect data to create your decision. Therefore, master data is the strength of the data foundation that runs the enterprise. If ever you have incorrect master data, for sure, everything will be incorrect already. So that is the importance of a master data being the core data among all the items or data items that is taken in our relational database management system. Again, master data. Now, having knowledge as to master data, we will discuss two important master data items as to your SAP Business One. And two important master data that we need to learn in SAP is first, your business partner master data, and second is your item master data. Let's start first with business partner master data. So what is your business partner master data? Each customer, vendor, or interested party is entered in the system as a master record. Use the business partner master data to record and retrieve business partner, customers, vendors, and leads information and schedule business partner activities. Therefore, there are three important business partner items under your business partner master data. These are first vendors, next we have your customers, and then we have your leads. Again, these are important or core data because without this, the transaction will not even start to take place. Without knowing who your customer is, without knowing who your vendor is, therefore the transaction will not take place. Take note of that. Now, in your vendor master data, how many master data can we create per vendor account? Generally, one account for one vendor. One account for one vendor. And when do we use your vendor master data? We make use of your vendor master data for your purchasing transactions. Why? Because vendors are our suppliers. And if you want to purchase something, we base it from our suppliers. Again, vendor master data, we create one account for one vendor. Next, for customer master data. For customer master data, of course, this is for any sales transactions or any sales opportunities. So to whom will you sell a inventory or an inventory? You sell it to your customer. So in creation of your customer master data, you create one account for one customer. And last business partner master data that you can create under SAP is your leads. Leads do not have any effect on your accounting. Why? Because generally, you do not purchase to them and you do not sell to them. However, you can sell to them in the future, or you can ask for a possible quotation on an order from them. So your possible transaction for your leads, quotations and orders, and sales opportunities. So for example, you have a future product. You can provide your other customers, or we call them leads here, for this new product. So although they don't have an effect on your accounting, maybe in the future, you can have transactions with them. That's why we call them leads. They can lead to being a vendor or being a customer. So how many master data can we create for business partner under SAP? You can create a vendor master data, customer master data, and your leads master data. Now, having known business partner master data, we go to another master data under SAP, and that is your item master data. And for what is your item master data? Your item master data is for your inventory items. And we will proceed later in the creation of your item master data. For now, let's focus ourselves with business partner master data. And what do we see in your business partner master data? Okay, so this is a pop-up menu for a business partner master data. So first we have here your header. Your header fields contains basic information for your business partner master data. This item here is for your business partner ID. And then this item here will be for the type of business partner. So what are the three types of business partner? That can be customer. We have also your seller or vendor master data. And we have your lead master data. So it is a drop-down menu. So you click on the drop-down menu and choose what type of business partner. And then another basic info is, of course, your name. And you can also choose the group here. As to the group of that particular buyer or vendor, you can group them depending on what you want to or how you want to. And then we also have your tab fields here. We have several tabs. We have your general, contact persons, addresses, payment terms, payment run, attachments, etc. So these are the different tabs in a business partner master data. So each tab keeps track of different business partner information. So tab, different business partner info. While header, only basic information. Header, basic information. Tabs, different business partner information. Now, how do we create a business partner master data? To create a business partner master data, first you click your business partners module, and then you click business partner master data. Okay. After that, there will be a pop-up menu. So this will be the pop-up menu. What you do is to click the add button. So you click add button in the toolbar. So upon clicking the add button on the toolbar, you already supply the basic info and the other info. And then finally, you add it. Okay, so business partner master data, how to create? Click business partner modules, click business partner master data, click the add in toolbar. Now you can add the basic info now and the other info, and then click add. Now, after talking about one master data, which is your business partner master data, we go to another master data, your item master data. As explained a while back, your item master data is used to keep track of your different inventory items. Now, you place here your different inventory items, make a record for each inventory item that you might have in your business enterprise. Now, how can we create for an item master data? To create an item master data, first you click on your modules, click inventory, and then click item master data. Next, you press the add menu in the toolbar. It's still the same, guys. In the header, you place the basic info. And in the contents, you place under the tabs, other info. And then lastly, you click add. However, for inventory data, one more important item here is where to place the inventory. Okay, so where do you place it? So here you can place it anywhere you want to, either in your general warehouse or to another branch. That is your item master data. Okay, so we discussed two master datas in SAP, Business Partner Master Data. How do we create it? Under your modules menu, Business Partners, and another master data, item master data, how to create it under inventory modules. Now we go to your marketing documents. So why do we need to discuss this structure of marketing documents? We need to discuss the structure of marketing documents because we are already going through your different items of marketing. By the way, under SAP, whenever say marketing documents, it means about any document relating to sales or purchases. Any document relating to sales or purchases is a is considered as a marketing document. And generally, a marketing document is composed of three parts. So what are the three parts of your marketing document? So first part is your header. Your header part, again, it contains your general info, particularly your basic info. The middle part contains other information and specific data. The specific data pertains to your different tab pages. Next, we have your footer. So under footer or your lower part, this is your other general info. Take note, guys, in your middle, we have the following tabs. First, contents. Contents, of course, your specific information as to your items or service. Logistics, for the details on where to ship or where to send that. Accounting, as to your account, how to properly account on your general ledger accounts. And then if there are other attachments needed for those marketing documents. So those are the structure of our marketing documents. Again, marketing documents pertain to any documents of sales or purchases. Parts, we have your header, general info or basic info. Middle, your other information including specific data based on your tab pages. What are the tab pages? Contents, logistics, accounting, and attachments. And lastly, footer, your other information. So after knowing the structure of marketing documents, we go now to one process or automation of SAP. That is the purchasing process through SAP. So how do we do your purchasing process on a SAP? The purchasing process starts with your purchase order. Of course, purchase order lists down your supplier name or your vendor name and the items to be purchased. After that, this will be sent to your supplier. And after that is sent to your supplier, the supplier will now, of course, supply the service or the goods. So upon supplying the service or the goods, upon receipt of the goods, we have your goods receipt PO. In your goods receipt PO, we say there that the purchase order was already received. So for example, we ordered 8 pieces of linen from SM. Now, once that is supplied already, we create a goods receipt PO. Let's say you only receive 7 pieces of linen. Okay? And then after that, we create already an AP invoice based on what we have received. Sir, what if 1 piece will be given afterwards? Then again, you create an AP invoice based on that goods receipt. But generally, we only record an accounts payable on what we have received. Do not make an entry on what you have ordered. Do not make an accounts payable based on what you have ordered because sometimes what you have ordered will not be delivered to you. So you will only record whatever will be delivered to you. Okay, so generally three main processes as to SAP purchasing. First, we create a purchase order. Next, we make a goods receipt PO. Next, we create an AP invoice. The question is, how do we do this in SAP? Now, first, purchase order. How do we create the purchase order under SAP? Now, in creating purchase order, first you go to purchasing AP module, click purchase order, and then in your purchase order, what you do is create new items of purchase order. So on your header, you place the basic info here. We create a new one. And then for your logistics, you click now where to place it or where to send that particular purchase order. And then finally, click add. Okay. That's how we create the purchase order. Again, purchasing AP, purchase order, and then we create a purchase order. Then finally, we add it. Now, we go to goods receipt. So, assuming once you place the order, you already received now the goods. How do we do that? Again, we go to your purchasing AP modules. And then, you click goods receipt PO. You find the vendor or the supplier which delivered the items. Then click copy from purchase order. You find the purchase order which you have received. So for example, a while back, 8, right? That is our purchase order. So let's say this is PO number 1123. 8 linens. That is our purchase order. Now, when we receive it, we only receive 7 linens, right? So what we do is we still place here our supplier. Let's say our supplier is SM. We place there our supplier SM. And then we copy from a purchase order. What is our purchase order here? 1123. So let's say here is our purchase order number 1123. Okay. After we look into our purchase order 1123, we click choose. After we click choose, of course, you place there how many items have you received because you don't receive, let's say 8 linens, we only receive 7 linens. So we place there the item soon 7. And then you click add. By that time, we see that the relationship came from PO going now to your receiving or goods receipt PO. Clear? So from PO 1123, we have already received it. Receive it under your goods receipt. Next, after we receive it, we can now create an AP invoice. So how do we create an AP invoice? To create an AP invoice, from your goods receipt PO, so let's say this is your goods receipt PO, you already receive it, right? You receive, let's say, the 7 linens. Okay. What you do is to press copy to, and you copy it to your AP invoice. Then from your AP invoice, automatically, everything that you have received will be placed in your AP invoice. Then click add. Okay, so that's the relationship. From PO, you copy the PO to your goods receipt. Or from goods receipt, you copy from PO. And goods receipt, you copy this to your AP invoice. That's how it works. So in our example, if this is an 8 linens, we receive 7, you copy that 7 to your AP invoice so that you can already create an accounts payable on the 7 linens you have received. Now, of course, purchasing does not end in creation of your accounts payable. You need to pay also. So how do we pay? So to pay, this is how you do it. First, you click on banking modules, click outgoing payments, then click whichever you want to pay. So let's say we pay vendor 10,000 Acme Associates. Then you check whichever you want to pay. Click the banking icon. Click banking in the toolbar. Then you click cash and which cash you want to decrease. And then you copy the whole balance due. So if the balance due here, it will be copied over. Then you click OK. So what's the whole process now under SAP? We started first from PO, and then we have your goods receipt, and then we created an AP invoice. Then lastly, we tried to pay it through your payment or banking under your under your banking module, outgoing payments. So that is how we do your purchasing process in SAP.